Minasan, konnichiwa. Nico here from the Road to Japan podcast, a brand new channel on YouTube. And I just wanted to do kind of sort of like an unboxing video here. Wait a minute. I gotta do my fancy new little thing I call the magic clap. Ready for this? Check this out. Pretty cool, huh? All right. Anyway, enough of that. So here we are. I wanted to talk about two products here that I have recently purchased. One of which I have already opened because I want to try and use it at my job. You know, when I have a little tiny bit of downtime. So I'm gonna actually talk about this one first since it is already open. And essentially what it is, this is just a method. Now, well, actually, before I get into that, I do want to say that anything I show here, as far as the aids that I use to learn any facet of the Japanese language, not any one thing is going to be like an all-in-one system, I guess. It's gonna essentially be, this could end up being one piece of it. This could end up being another piece of it. But if you use all the pieces together, then, you'll make some really, really serious progress. So, these are just methods that I use to learn the language. Is any one thing going to make me fluent? Absolutely not. For one thing, these are both having to do with kanji. So, these aren't even talking about things like grammar, particles, things like that. This is kind of more like a sort of like a vocabulary type setup here. But increasing your vocabulary and being able to read kanji will definitely be a huge help in, yours and my progress in learning the Japanese language. Now of course this is specific to Japanese, but I'm sure that there are other similar facets that are used to learn other languages. But Japanese, Chinese, Korean, they have a little extra I guess difficulty, so to speak. I mean, it can depend on who you ask. But these do have the characters involved as well, so that does add one more hurdle when you're learning, and hopefully these products will kind of help make that a little easier. So anyway, okay, getting back to the actual products here. So what this is this works kind of like sort of like if you ever saw one of those. They're like calendars, and a lot of times these are used in association with like comic strips. So you might have one that's themed like Garfield, or one of my favorites was Calvin and Hobbes. But it might be where you open it up and it might say January 1st, and it'll have a little strip there, and then you read the strip and you're like, haha, that's great, and then you tear it away, the next day is January 2nd, another strip, and so on and so forth. And obviously that repeats for, the 365 days a year. So this is set up in that fashion. It's not a calendar though. So, if you're intending to use this as a calendar, that's not what it's going to do for you. This is just more, as it says, it's Japanese kanji a day. So it's intended that, you can keep this like at your desk or something, or somewhere at home, maybe, I don't know, in the bathroom or something. You can check it when you're brushing your teeth or something. I don't know, but the idea is that you're learning a kanji a day, but not necessarily in a calendar sense. So anyway, I'm going to crack this open here. It says it's volume 1. There is a volume 2. Which I believe is in a green box. I don't know if there's a volume 3. I want to say there is, but I'm not 100% sure. I figure I wouldn't worry about that until I got through this one. And this one does, I mean, as you can see, it's pretty thick. So there's a lot of kanji in this box. So I'm gonna go ahead and open. I mean, I've already opened it, but I'm just gonna show you kind of what it looks like on the inside. So it comes with this, and this is actually really handy. I kind of tore mine a little bit when I was putting it back one day. This is really handy because if you open it up, first thing you're going to see here is a kana chart. Now that's really handy if you're learning kana as well in addition with kanji, because this is how the language is written, and it shows. Maybe see if I can get that a little closer there. You can see here, like for the vowel ah, you have hiragana on the left and katakana on the right, and that's going to be very important because you do need to learn both of those with your reading. And then here on this page here, let me get it a little bit closer. Better. This is what one of the pages look like. So this is intended for someone to use each of these pages. As you can see along the border here, there are a series of little squares for you to practice your writing. And then just below right here, right above where my thumb is, you can see I need to get closer to the mic. You can see that it also gives you stroke order and what goes into each stroke. And then obviously you've got the meaning here, the way to read it, and then you've got a couple samples utilizing it. So for this one, the kanji is for mountain. So mountain is the kanji on the right here, and then the one on the left is the kanji for fire. So you're literally writing out fire mountain, which translates to volcano. So that's kind of an example of one of the pages here. I don't know if there's anything. Oh, and then there's more having to do with the kana. So these are the I forget exactly what they call it. They have a fancy name in Japanese, and I've totally spaced on what it is. But basically, these are the alterations to, like, the top row here is the alterations to the K sounds. So normally this would be ka, ki, ku, ke, ko. But these, they're like, you can't see them very well. And honestly, this is not intended to be a kana lesson, but you can see the little kind of quotation marks there. And then if you look down here on the P sounds, you can see a little tiny circle. That's what alters this, because you can see that the B sounds and the P sounds are using the same kana, but the fact that one uses the quote marks and one uses like the little circle changes the property of that kana. And then there's on this page here, there are combinations, so you can get Q, Kya, Gya, so on and so forth. But like I said, I'm not going to go through it. Now, what's also really nice is these pages in the back, which, to my understanding at least, go over all the kanji that is in these pages. So, if you ever want to go back and maybe practice, writing the kanji some more, this is like a great reference. And it actually does specify like what day the kanji was a part of. So, it's a great reference tool, and it's a good way to kind of brush up, if you maybe weren't sure about which one a kanji meant or what have you. And then that's pretty much it. That's the remainder of the booklet. So, this is the main portion of it. It's got a solid back, so you can, I believe, I actually don't know if you can set this out. I don't think you can. I think it's just, I don't know, kind of sets like that on the table or something. I don't know. Now, I did not want to tear off the pages because I like having the reference, so I just put a little paper clip here. So when I'm done with a kanji, I just add it to the clipped side of it. and then you can kind of flip through. And then it does say, it does mention the day on each of them, and I believe it goes. I honestly don't know what kind of order this is in, as far as like if this is following, like, say the JLPT requirements or what have you. I want to say it probably starts, like, you can see as I get closer and closer to the beginning, the kanji get easier. So I think that's how it's intended to work, is that like the very first one that you do is for the number 1, which is just a straight horizontal line. So anyway, that's a great tool. If you're wanting something, like maybe while you're at work, or at school, I don't know. I mean, the actual applications of it, can vary. But I just figured it was a great way to kind of revise kanji. When you don't necessarily have a ton of time, you can kind of glance at it, and then if you have a little more time, then you can also practice writing with it. So anyway, that's that. I'm just gonna. So now this is the next one, and this one is one that, as you can see, the plastic is still, well, maybe you can't see that, but the plastic is still on the actual package itself. So I have not opened this, so I don't know what necessarily is inside here. I would assume it's just a bunch of cards. But I read the reviews on Amazon, and it seems that the White Rabbit version of flashcards, because there are a variety available out there, but I heard White Rabbit was kind of the way to go. So these are a series of flashcards. It's 300 cards in this box. I also ordered the second and third set of cards, and those have a lot more. I think one has somewhere around 700 and the other has somewhere around 800. So they're actually bigger boxes and thicker. I'm not going to bother opening those at this time, just because I want to get through these first, and then once I get through these, then I'll probably do another video later on looking at those, the second and third boxes. So they're just going to safely sit in the plastic until I'm ready for them. So now I'm going to grab my knife here, and I'm going to go ahead and crack this baby open. Let's see what we get. Oh, I didn't quite get it there. Let's go along. There we go. I'm not very good at this whole unboxing thing. Can't even get the damn thing open. All right, so plastic out. We'll throw that. Oops, sorry, nudge the camera there. Okay, so let's open her up. Actually, I'm gonna close that. Safety first. Okay, so what do we got here? Now remember, I'm kind of looking at this right along with you, so I have no idea what to expect. As you can see, they're a bunch of cards, and they are wrapped in a rubber band. I have no idea if they are in any sort of order. They probably are, because I'm already seeing numbers in the corners. And then this is sort of pretty much a guide, it looks like. A guide for just kind of getting used to. Oh, okay. So here, just like the calendar deal, this is an index of the kanji. But these are interesting thing is that these are not in any. I'm trying to look here. Sorry for the silence. I'm just kind of reading this real quick. Okay, I see what's going on here. So it apparently organizes these in accordance with it looks like pronunciation. So it may show the same kanji several times, but then it will also show the different readings for it. At least that's kind of what I'm getting from looking at this. As obviously as I learn more kanji, this will make more and more sense to me. Oh, and there's actually more back here, Yomi Index 2, and then a Stroke Index as well. Which I think, see again, I'm not exactly sure how I'm supposed to read that, so I'm not going to attempt to right now because I'll just look like an idiot probably. And then there's just more information as far as reading the cards. So like this is the front of the card, and then this is the back. So these are flashcards, so they're intended for, you know, someone to look at this and then determine, you know, what the kanji means, maybe be able to read these here, which these are, what are they? Okay, that's a bunch of stuff I need to read at a later time. And then the back, you know, will actually say what it is, how to read it, and then the meaning, and then what appears to be different ways to read the card, or read the kanji, I should say. So okay, so let's we'll look at this one here because this looks like it might be the first batch. Maybe, I don't know. We're not going to look at each and every card, that would take forever. But I just wanted to let's see, master correct pronunciation with the audio companion for this product. Oh, audio companion. Where's the audio companion? Oh, okay, I did not know about an audio companion. Okay, well, I'll have to look at that at a later time, and then please pass this card along. Someone you know who may be interested in blah 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 blah. Why would they give you a card that has like half of a kanji card on it? What it looks like on that one too. That doesn't quite make sense, but whatever. I didn't make this thing. Oh, very handy here. This is yet another kana chart. And you've got katakana, and then you got hiragana. So yeah, so here's all the hiragana kana, and then this is katakana. So even with the flashcards, you still get a kana chart, which is always a handy tool to use. And I would always recommend learn the kana as quickly as you can, because that will help exponentially when you're you know, as you're learning Japanese in general, but especially as you're learning kanji and so forth. So okay, so here's like the first card here. I need to make a point to hold it properly in front of the camera. So there's one, and then this is, oh, what is that? I think that's supposed to be 7, right? Oh, look at that, got it, 7. Now, as far as how they're ordered, why they're ordered like this, I don't know. Maybe this is intended to be the easiest way, so that's 3. I know that. That I thought I knew at one point. Maybe that's above? Yep, kind of. And I know that's below, because I've studied that one. So, it just kind of goes through, and you just start studying. Now obviously, as far as how you want to use these cards, that's totally up to you. My strategy will probably be to take, say, maybe the first 10, which will be easy to do since they are all numbered in the corner. So I can just take first 10 here and then just work through these, just constantly quizzing myself. And I do want to note the quality of the cards. These cards are not just some flimsy, piece of cardboard. I mean, they are flimsy, and you can fold them. You can probably tear them and things like that. But they have like a little bit of a higher quality. They don't feel as thick as, say, like a playing card. Namely because I don't think they're supposed to be used like a playing card. And I mean, it does show some squares here to write if you so choose, but with this kind of laminated surface, I don't know how easy that will be. That might be okay with like a ballpoint pen or something. But personally, I won't be using these. I'll probably do any writing I want to on like a separate sheet of paper. But anyway, like, take the first 10 or something, and then just keep those with you. You know, put them in your backpack, or you know, if permitting, maybe in your wallet, or maybe decrease it to 5 to keep in like your wallet. And then when you know you have a spare moment, you can you know, just kind of quiz yourself, and then just work through bundles of 10. So like this stack goes all the way to 96, and then I don't recall. Oh, that's right, it said it was 300. So you have a total of 300 cards here. So it'll obviously take you a while just to get through, you know, all the kanji just in this box here. Prices, I don't quite recall. This was obviously the cheapest one since it had the lowest amount of cards, and I think it was priced under $25. And the other two, since there are more cards, and maybe because they're more advanced kanji, I'm not exactly sure how they decided to price it, but those are definitely more expensive, probably in like the $30 to $40 range, maybe a little bit more. I honestly don't remember, but you know, as I said, these are the Kanji flashcards. There's not really much else to say about them. You know, I would definitely recommend them if you're so inclined to get flashcards to quiz yourself, learn kanji. This is a great way to do it. And obviously, you know, as I mentioned with the other product, using this in combination with other methods, not necessarily flashcards, but something else like the calendar. You know, the calendar is more focused so that you can focus on like one kanji a day. Or you can, there's nothing to say that you can't expand that, you know, use that. If you want to instead put more focus on it, you know, make that kanji for the whole week or whatever. So every day when you come into work or go to school or whatever, then you can practice. You practice using that kanji until you've got it down, because that's the whole point of this, is that you need to, you know, if you want to, I think I read somewhere, and the number usually hovers around 1800 to 2000. And that's typically the number of kanji that you would need to know to be able to kind of go about like everyday life. So like to read signs, you know, walking down the street, or usually the example is to read like a newspaper. So it's usually somewhere around 1800 to 2000 that you would need to know. And I think the total amount is easily over 2000. I think I heard at least at one point there was like 2200, but there could be more. But that's, you know, the 2000 is usually the kind of more common use area of it. So anyway, these are the Kanji flashcards. That's the calendar over there. My name is Nico. If you want to see any other videos like this, there are some others where I talk about some other products I purchased having to do with my eventual move to Japan, which hopefully will happen in a few years. But if you want to keep track of all the progress I'm making, in addition to checking out products like this, you can always head over to the roadtojapan.com/YouTube, which has all the YouTube videos there for products like this, as well as back episodes of the podcast that I do, which is called obviously The Road to Japan. So, you know, anything you want to check out, just head over to the roadtojapan.com. For now, my name is Nico, and I'll catch you guys next time. Minasan, ganbatte.